1. My girlfriend left me because she thinks she was addicted to me. Hey, I am 21 and recently my girlfriend left me because she realized our relationship was getting toxic and she told me the reason was that she was addicted to me. We started dating about 2 years ago, but the insecurity really started around 4 months ago when she would get pissed if I talked to other girls. I have been nothing but respectful to her because she was going through some family trauma, so I thought maybe it was because of that. But she decided to break up with me to work on herself as she needs time and space. I was even willing to give her that on the grounds that if and when she finally feels okay we can resume the relationship. But she wants nothing to do with me. I don't get it. I still love her. Why am I being punished for being understanding and respectful? 2. After dealing with my trauma, I'm a whole new person, and my marriage is failing because of it. I began dealing with my trauma after my kiddo was born 4 years ago. From a very young age, I was stuck in the care of my schizophrenic mom while my dad was negligent. He was supposed to have full custody. Due to her illness, we often went without basics like water, electricity, food. This made me perfect prey for the neighborhood pedos to groom, coerce. I'll give you food, alcohol, drugs if you let me. This continued into my teens when I was violently assaulted and ran to my ex, whom I married ASAP for protection. Apparently, I just traded multiple abusers for one. It got to the point that he gained access to my body by guilt, manipulation, and I would simply disassociate to pass the time. That marriage ended when I joined the military at 25, and he cleaned out my bank account and cheated. I met my current husband while serving, and we met and married within the year. He's a genuinely good guy. At this point, the only abuse I acknowledged was the abuse from my parents, and the violent rape. I didn't acknowledge what the men would do as rape, abuse, and I never mentioned to my current husband what happened for all those years. In the first year of our marriage, we had a traumatic miscarriage and went on to successfully have our kiddo. I ended up with severe PPD after birth and began my journey in therapy. In the 3 years I've been working through things, I've been diagnosed with PTSD, depression, and anxiety, and all the abuse has come to light. To be clear, while I did enjoy sexual intimacy with Hubs, it was more often my disassociating than anything. But I've been doing it so long I didn't really get that it wasn't normal. Since kiddo has been born, my sex drive is non-existent. We would have sex simply because he wanted it. He didn't pressure, I just went along with the wink wink. In the last year, however, since acknowledging the scope of the sexual abuse, I legit can't have sex. I get severe anxiety, and I'm awkward, uncomfortable, and in pain because attempting to have sex without natural lubricant just doesn't work. We have had so many discussions about everything, and Hubs supports it all, but at this point I've changed so much. I wasn't exactly focused on getting my way or my own interests when we met because I was prioritizing safety. That now when he's getting to know the new me, we have zero in common and can't even have sex to bridge the gap. It's our 5-year anniversary in a few weeks, and we don't even really enjoy each other's company at this point. I don't know what to do. 2. My boyfriend always makes me pay. My boyfriend has a high-paying job and is very successful in his career. We met in college and have been together for almost 6 years now. After graduating college, he went on to work as a computer engineer, and I am still in the process of getting my graduate degree. We both have talked about marriage in the far future and agree we want to be together for a very long time. We live together and split the rent evenly, but he is constantly asking me to pay for other things. For example, I pay for almost all of the groceries, home items, and most of our weekend activities. What bothers me the most is that he frequently asks me to buy him expensive gifts that I just cannot afford because I don't make much money. There's even been times where we argue because I don't buy him the gifts he likes. He says the little gifts I buy him are things he does not like, but I really do try my hardest with what I can afford. It makes me really uncomfortable because he knows how little I make. I usually just pay for most things to avoid tension, but on the occasions that I ask that he pays, his guilt trips me. I feel it's unfair that I make far less than half of him and I still am expected to pay for more than half of the expenses of our relationship. I don't ever ask him for money, so I'm not sure why he keeps asking me to pay for things. I have enough to cover my end of everything, but until I finish school I just cannot afford to be handing out money like that. I'm not sure how couples in this situation usually split their finances, but I have a feeling my relationship is unfair. I would like to talk to him about finding a better way to split our finances, but I don't know how to communicate it without pushing any buttons. Does anyone have any advice on how to handle and talk about this? 4. GF is jealous of me and constantly starts fights. My GF is jealous of me for some reason and constantly causes issues and fights that tear me down. We are both 20 and sophomores in college and have been dating for a little over a year. Over the past few months, it seems sometimes my GF is out to get me. For example, I received a much higher grade on a test that she took also, and this caused issues. I never bragged or spoke about my grade except when she asked what I got. I told her she had a good grade and it's okay to not do as well as she wanted to sometimes. Then over the past week she has been telling me off, basically resenting me, saying that I can't talk about the class anymore since I did good and it's basically unfair. She even told me she's jealous of my grade and taking it out on me. Another example is my family life is a little bit better than hers, but I just don't talk about the bad issues within the family much, so she wouldn't really know. This made her call me out, screaming at me over the stupidest things when I do nothing wrong repeatedly. For example, I forgot to say thank you when she got the money for my lunch back I got food poisoning from, and she told me I'm ungrateful and that I never work and she does, and I should have a job and I do nothing. Both in college she has part-time. I'm too busy right now to get one. It's little things like these that drive me to believe she constantly resents me and is gonna cheat or something. She even once called me out on various things for weeks until she told me she resented me because I hadn't said I love you after 4 months. What do I do?